ways so you can eat well on the go. So being away from home doesn't mean that you need to make poor food choices. Use these genius tips from precision nutrition coaches like myself to stick to the plan, no matter where life may take you. So, at home before you go. So, eat a healthy meal. So, plan to go out for a couple hours. Here are some satisfying firsts so you don't find yourself hungry and reaching for junk food, right? So, try to have a pretty well balanced meal. So, what I mean by that is I'm going to go over the hand method of measuring next week. But essentially, you want to have a plate that's kind of like this. 1 or 2 palms of a measure of lean protein, 1 or 2 fists of vegetables, a thumb of a fat, and then a cupped hand for a carbohydrate. So as you see that, everything's kind of cut into like a small piece of pie, right? Essentially, if you do this before you go out, you're gonna already have some stuff in the fire. So hopefully that means you're gonna be less likely to reach for junk food or go through a drive-through, right? So if you are gonna be packing some snacks or several, here are some great things that you can do that a lot of them don't need to be refrigerated or in like a lunch bag, right? So if you are someone that likes like tuna and fish like that, great source for you. You can get some grilled chicken breast and cut that up. Good high quality protein bar. So what I mean by that is you want something that's pretty high in protein and lower in sugar. A lot of times, it may say protein bar on it. When you look on the back of it, it's just loaded with a bunch of filler, a bunch of crap that you don't need, right? So obviously fruit is always good. Celery with peanut butter, hard-boiled eggs if you like those, nuts and seeds, good quality beef jerky. With that, make sure it's lower in sodium and sugar, because that stuff can catch up on you. And if you do have a way to refrigerate some stuff, getting some Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, as well as if you do like protein shakes, you can get a to-go cup or just a shake already ready for you, and add water as needed. So if you're traveling more than an hour or two, consider a soft cooler bag and ice pack for any perishable items that you may have, right? So they do give you a way to make your own protein bars. So if you're someone that likes to cook, make sure you look at this here. Again, this document's going to be on the page. But here's a pretty good recipe to try out, and you can cut it out into 20 equal portions, and this is kind of what it goes out to. So if you're going to be freezing it, right, you can save it for about 3 months. If you're going to be cutting it up and using it in a airtight container in the refrigerator, about 10 days. So here's some other stuff that you can look at. So let's say you want to build out a salad. Here are some easy ways you can do that. Again, you want to make sure that you're investing in some pretty good containers for food, right? So what do you mean by that is make sure you have a container with a tight fitting lid. Fill the bottom up with some green leafy vegetables, chop up some lean protein or leftover protein into the salad. So, some examples they give you is like tuna, eggs, salmon, chicken, quinoa, etc. And you sprinkle in some nuts and seeds. You top with a little salt and maybe a large lemon wedge. And when you're ready to mix, you can squeeze lemon juice on it, and boom, you already got your salad prepped and ready, and it's going to be pretty fun, right? So let's say you're on a road trip, right? You can bring a picnic basket or packed cooler. See some of the items above to make sure that you have some food available. Now, let's say you are at a gas station or you're at the airport, you're going to be flying, right? Here are some pretty easy stuff that you can choose from to make it super convenient for you. So most of the stuff you'll find at a convenience store, but obviously reach for veggies like carrot sticks or pre-made salads first. But if you cannot, here is kind of a spectrum of stuff to choose from. So it goes from protein, carbs to fats. Protein, obviously, some hard-boiled eggs, Greek yogurt. Eat less as a Slim Jims, hot dogs, any fried foods. Kind of in the middle there, you have your protein bars, your pre-made shakes. The reason why is that even though it says protein on it, it's still highly processed, a lot of this stuff, right? So we want to make sure we're staying away from that stuff as much as possible. And you see that be the regular theme with all of these, right? So you have your fresh fruit, salad, stuff like that. Then obviously your candy on the other end of the spectrum for the carbs. Same with your fats, right? You have your pastries, candy bars, chips. And the other side, you have your mixed nuts, nut butters, and hummus. Kind of in the middle there, you still have more of a processed stuff, right? Now, let's say you're at a gas station and you want to make a meal. It's obviously going to be something that you can easily do. Find 1 or 2 proteins. So, a lot of gas stations, you'll see that they already have like 2 hard-boiled eggs and a string cheese. So that would be a good protein for you. A carbohydrate. Usually fruits are usually there, and you usually get some nuts. So if you have those, that would be pretty good. And some of them obviously offer some veggies too. Let's say you're on a plane, or if you are traveling by train, try to make the most of the meal offerings. A lot of times you can order a la carte, opt for a snack pack. It usually includes nuts, olives, cheeses, meats that you can pick through. So you can also make sure that you make most of your carry-ons, right? So most airport securities will allow you to have sandwiches, whole or cut fruits and veggies, firm cheeses, meats, and stuff like that. Some other stuff that they will not let you have are soups, sauces, anything liquid, really. It's kind of what they stay away from, right? If you are in a hotel, consider booking a room with a kitchenette. Then you can head to the nearest grocery store and stock up on box salads, baby veggies, hummus, deli meat, and fruit. And ask the hotel to empty the minibar fridge. So if there are anything in there that you don't want, then make sure that you can fill it up with the good stuff, right? And you can always, get some pretty good oatmeals for breakfast, and if you can stir in some protein powder, that would obviously be pretty well as well. So I know that a lot of you travel for conferences and you go to restaurants. So here are some meals that aren't so heavy, but usually is a workaround. So some stuff that you can do is aim for perfect. Don't just aim for perfection. Just pick menu items that best fit you. Get creative. So examples here is that you can ask them to double the amount of protein in your pasta or your sandwich. Ask for more garnish. So ask for lettuce, cabbage, cherry tomatoes, orange slices, etc. And look for more build your own meal type of stuff like Chipotle, Tabo, and things like that. So again, a real easy fast food thing that you could pick from at a restaurant. Most of the places would have this chicken sandwich. You can minus the bun, get the salad, plus some fruit. You can make an easy, pretty tasteful veggie salad there with some chicken. So if you are going to be a longer stay, let's say you're going on a trip, or you're going to be on vacation, you can always pre-order a lot of stuff from a grocery store. Research your closest place that you're going to be at, pre-order meals from a local delivery service, or get restaurant menu items in advance, and it can definitely help point you out in the right direction on what to pick. So some people that I work with do this where they'll actually have some of their meals actually shipped to where they're at. So if you use like Factor or Icon Meals or anything like that, you can do that. Or if you feel up to the challenge, you can always prep for yourself, getting all these things as needed. So here are some other considerations that you might want to think about. It's deciding whether you'll stick to your healthy habits or take a break temporary. Either way is good as long as it's a conscious choice. Aim for better instead of perfect. This helps avoid the screw it mentality there, right? Hunger is not an emergency. It may be okay to be hungry for a couple hours, but if you don't like your food options, you can always figure out a good solid meal later down the road. What are your minimums? So what should you try to get in while you're away, right? If you want one good serving of greens a day, 2 workouts a week, etc. And then the last thing here is no matter what happens, you can always fall back on the simple stuff that works. So again, eating slowly, mindfully, until you're about 80%, kind of like what we talked about last week.